Hey guys, well here's my video of how I practice some parts of the opener. First of all, go Cougs. Second of all, the first part that I worked on specifically was at square 5. One of the issues that I was having here is my low range is not amazing still, and so I was having lots of issues with like wah 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 wah. So one of the first things I did was just worked on buzzing just the low B flat in that range with the articulations that were there to focus on getting really smooth air consistency the whole time. So and I just did that over and over again to really focus on the air not having the wah 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 and being smooth the entire time. And then I just did the same thing on the horn. So still sometimes it doesn't respond perfectly how I want to, especially at the beginning it was still a little bit wah-wah-y, for lack of a more official term. So I just keep working on solidifying that. Here's a met to make sure we go the right speed. And especially right now, one, because I'm not super warmed up, and two, just because I'm not amazing at it, the response is not amazing. So I would probably go back and forth between buzzing it and playing it just to make sure that's super solidified. And here, when I'm just doing it on the low B flat, I can really focus on making sure the articulations and the accents are exactly what I want them to be. And this really exposes some issues with my embouchure and the fact that it doesn't respond perfectly every time. So that's something I would spend even more time working on. And then I would add it to the action notes and try and recreate that same sensation of the air moving perfectly smoothly the entire time. And even though the low B flat wasn't perfect, playing it like that was already way better than it was before. So that's something that I would keep working on a lot so that's consistent, because gotta keep that baritone feature. Another one of the parts that I worked on specifically was the measure before 62, so I guess that'd be 61. Double tonguing is not my most amazing trait right now as far as a baritone brass player. So one thing I did to make this one a little bit easier is I added a measure of just straight eighth notes in 6/8. And I just did it on the A, for example. I just filled in that rest and just focused on doing the 6/8 to get the time engraved in my head so that the double tongue wasn't quite out of the blue and crazy. That is a nice, comfortable dynamic. And then I would add that at the beginning to get my brain and tongue prepared for the double tongue, and then add the notes that come in after it. And here's a really good time as well to really focus on making sure the articulation is exactly what we want it to be, nice and staccato. And this is still super slow just so I can make sure I'm doing the technique perfectly how I want to before I speed it up. And then I could gradually speed that up faster. This is 112. And faster. And faster. Don't want to clip that last eighth note. And then I would start taking off the stuff at the beginning. So then I might just do 3 eighth notes. And then just add the 1 eighth note at the beginning as a placeholder, really to make sure the timing when I come in on the double tongue notes is perfect. And then just really drill it as many times as I can perfectly. And I'm still a tiny bit under tempo for practicing purposes, and I would keep working on speeding that up. And then I would just take out the eighth note and start right on the double tongue. And granted, this part isn't actually that hard. And then I keep working on speeding it up. And then the next hardest part about this little tiny lick is the dynamics, because it goes from forte to piano, which is a really big contrast in a very short amount of time, especially when we're going at the written speed of 136. So what I'd like to do to practice that is play the whole thing as loud as I can, and then play the whole thing as soft as I can, so I can get that contrast in my brain, and then work on doing both at the same time. And then as soft as I can. And then work on getting both of those in one rep. And then I would keep working on speeding that up. And then I would do the same exact technique with measure 71 with the other double tonguing stuff. And that was a little bit easier because the dynamic contrast isn't as extreme. But that's just some of the things I've been using to work on this and getting it up to tempo for the submission.